Trust me, Moses says, you got to go back. This is not going to work. Anyway, to make a long story short, and it's a humorous tale, this continues to happen, right? To the point where now we have been left for 5 prayers a day. And remember when I told the story of Moses, I said we have to thank our prophet Moses. And as all Muslims who say we are believers in the truth of the light say, peace and blessings be upon Moses and his family and all those who believed from his followers. As every Muslim sends peace and blessings upon any of the sons of Adam who were bearers of the truth of the light. The Prophet Muhammad is too shy to go back. And so with 5 prayers settled, he descends back to the earth. Now this might sound like a strange tale, but as I've told you, this is the first time any of the sons of Adam have ever ascended to the Lord and returned. And the Prophet is brought back to Jerusalem and then returned back to his home in Medina. And while he is traveling, he sees the caravans passing and he travels in real time. And when he gets back to his bed, no time has passed here on the earth. As I said, we were talking about strange concepts. Now we have seen that even the ability to travel in time was done by the Prophet Muhammad. Well, we've talked about strange issues before. We've talked about alien races, and we've even talked about the possibility of time travel when we talked about the story of Moses. If you didn't understand what we were talking about in jinns and other beings and other civilizations all around the universe and even on our planet, go back and look to the story of Khidr and the references to time travel that we addressed there. As I said, you're hearing everything put together in the story of the truth today, brothers and sisters. Now, as all prophets return to their people and tell the tale of the story of the truth, many people will not believe. How can they believe such a ludicrous tale that a man travels in the middle of the night and goes from this city across the earth in the blinking of an eye like lightning and then ascends to the heavens and meets with the Lord and sees angels? Blasphemous, some would say. As no doubtedly they will say my story that I'm telling you is full of blasphemy. Yet the truth is always the truth and it can never be denied. So as all of the people on the earth were listening to the story and so many of the leaders of the elders and the wise are saying, how is it that this man who claims to be a prophet of the Lord is saying such a ludicrous tale again? And it is at this point that Abu Bakr, the most closest and dearest friend of the Prophet Muhammad, the leaders of the great people come to Abu Bakr. He is one of the elders of many of the great tribes and a noble man amongst the people. They tell him, you follow this man called Muhammad. And you believe what he says. Well, he just told us a tale that he traveled all the way to Jerusalem and then up into the skies and then returned, all of it in one night. And Abu Bakr says, I believe that. He says straight away, I believe the truth of the light. Can you believe this sign? And I'm saying it for a reason because it's important in the story. It is from this point onward that forever it is known upon all of the earth that that man named Abu Bakr should always be known as Siddiq, the truth bearer. Meaning what? From that moment on, the Prophet said, you are now a bearer of the light. You have testified to the truth of the light. You are now known as the truth bearer. What a noble title. And it is important as I say it. And so we've continued to say some of the stories and tales. And now it is upon us to try to explain some of the concepts very quickly. I'm just going to go through the fundamentals, right? We said that the fundamentals are what? There is only one God. None of the prophets came with anything different. He is the Lord Most High, glory and great is his name. He should be known as the one and the only one, described as the light and nothing but light. Undescribable to us, no graven image, no statue, no symbol. As every prophet of the light has told, God created angels of the light, made from light with wings. They have no free will. God created the jinns, other races made of smokeless fire in various forms, some having wings and some not. The fundamentals are there that Adam was created as the superior race, as God took that challenge, and Satan became our true enemy. In a battle of dark versus light, in a battle of dark versus light, that all of the prophets were coming to tell us of the true message, that we are in a struggle of the light versus the darkness, and so do not be deceived. And so this is why any prophet of the light tells you the truth. Be mindful that you are all sons of Adam, born free, slave to none, only to bow down to the Lord. And so let's go through the tale very quickly. That the Muslims are granted glory and status, and the empire rises, and Mecca is taken over by the Muslims, and all of the pagan statues are reduced to crumble, and the house of God in Mecca is now being worshipped to Allah, the Lord Most High, and the Lord alone. And the Prophet leads the Muslims to take over these lands so that only the worship of the Lord is there. But what are the signs and symbols and the rituals of Islam that you know of, so that you can recognize, is any of this from the truth, or is this totally misguidance? Well, we've said the fundamentals, and you know the fundamentals, and all the prophets never changed the fundamentals, but we have these things called pillars in Islam. And so if you ask a Muslim what are pillars, they will tell you it is the statement of faith that we bear witness that there is only one God, and the Prophet Muhammad is his messenger, and that we pray 5 times a day, and that we give of some of our money that God blesses us to the poor, and that we fast in the month of Ramadan, not eating any food or drink from sunrise till sunset, and that we do this ritual called the Hajj. Well, those are the rituals that everybody's heard of and everybody knows of, but nobody knows what they're really for and what they really mean. And so if I'm going to explain to you the story and have it make sense, then you must understand every part of the story and why it is there. And when I tell you the reasons that it is there, it should be clear to you that this agrees with the way the whole story has been told from beginning to end, because there should be no difference. Now comes the most amazing parts. We're going to describe and show you why it is that we're claiming this truth, that Muhammad is the seal and final messenger to all of mankind. That is a noble, noble task and a noble, noble claim. You should be understanding in the story that we have continued to have chains of prophets bringing the message to their people. And in the last prophet, Jesus, there were those who were trying to say, this is a message of the light to be spread to all the lands, not just limited to certain people. But the tribes of Israel were still trying to control the message of the light with just within their people and within their bloodline. And we know why they did it. If you don't understand why they were trying to make sure it was only within their bloodline, go back and listen to the story. Because the reasons they had were legitimate and true for their time, and freaky beyond anything you've ever heard. If you're still listening to the story, then you know what was going on with the blood of Adam. But so we have now in the tale something dramatic that has changed. A new sign is coming to the earth with a new prophet bearing the truth. And the evidence that he is the seal of the prophets and the bearer of the word is about to be given to you. Let me stop and take a break, please.